Let's get more on gold though, continuing to surge. Spot gold hitting this all-time peak. To get into some of the explorer stocks that we should be watching, Brian Chu from Australian Gold Fund joins me. Brian, before we get to the stocks, I just want to get your thoughts on the rally, because Bank of America coming out this morning saying, look, 4,000 looking way too toppy for gold and we could see a correction.
Hi, Juliet. I'm glad to be here. And as we speak, gold is 6,000 Australian dollars an ounce and approaching 4,000 US dollars an ounce. I actually, even though I'm a gold bull, I do tend to agree with, for a change, the Bank of America and many of these investment banks' views on gold. I do feel that it is looking a little toppy. Now, last week, with Andrew, I did say that there is a chance that gold would touch 4,000 before it touches 3,500. I don't believe that the gold bull market has ended because of the way the central banks are being forced to cut rates amidst pressure from increasingly populist governments. We've just seen Japan replace its prime minister, and Prime Minister Takaichi appears to be quite will probably do a similar type of policy as her mentor Shinzo Abe and also the U.S. President Donald Trump. So I expect that pushes further pressure for gold to continue to rise in the medium term. But in the short term, I am definitely looking for a pullback being a rational pathway. If it goes up any higher, it rings alarm bells for me.
All right, let's get into some of the stocks then, because Morningstar coming out with this note saying that maybe the gold miners are overvalued. At the same time, though, they lifted their price target on quite a few, including Evolution and Northern Star. You're looking at some of the smaller plays as well. What should we be looking out for, Brian?
So there's been a couple of companies that have run up quite a lot in recent times. And I note that, for example, James Bay Minerals, I mentioned them last month, they jumped more than 30% in the past week because they purchased a silver mine in the US and Mexico border, the Shafter mine. That's looking very interesting. The other I also noticed is Morona Metals. They've actually jumped quite a bit after releasing their PFS, their preliminary financial feasibility study. We also have noted that Magmatic Resources is up over 30% yesterday and received a speeding ticket, and please explain from the ASX. They have a joint venture with Fortescue Metals to develop the Corvette deposits over in Mile in central New South Wales. Yandal Resources jumped significantly in the past 6 months after announcing significant developments in their on their property as well. So a lot of these small companies, they've got good quality deposits, but they actually haven't received much attention until recently, as several of these producers have reached record levels and are sitting on what I believe are overvaluation territory. Even though I say overvaluation, I'm not saying that there's anything wrong with these companies. They are going to deliver record cash builds in each quarter. Regis Resources just released their preliminary quarter production update, and they've increased the cash build by $158 million, which is very impressive. Of course, the share price is sitting at around this current level because I think the valuation is pretty generous. It's already priced in, I believe.
What about, when we're seeing this momentum, Brian, the likelihood that companies are going to jump on that, raise more capital? What are you sort of looking for there?
Yes, that's a good point. Several companies have recently raised capital off of their rallies. So Morona Metals did that not shortly after they're releasing their PFS. Investigator Resources raised $10 million, which also precipitated their further rally recently to develop the Paris deposit over in South Australia. It is one of the highest grade silver deposits. It is a bit isolated, and that's why the share price in the recent 3 years have been just sitting, taking so long to actually turn around is that you can have a good deposit, but you need to be close to facilities. I contrast that with Barton Gold Holdings, which have their own deposits, and that's why Barton Gold Holdings have actually jumped about 250% since the beginning of the year. I also see that Matsa Resources also raise capital, even though they do have a backing of AngloGold Ashanti, who might pay up to $100 million to purchase their Devon gold mine. Actually, no, I think they get to keep the Devon gold mine, but Matsa Resources might actually sell the deposits surrounding that area to AngloGold Ashanti if AngloGold Ashanti exercises those options. With these capital raises, my view is it will put a speed hump on the rally for these smaller companies. But as long as gold continues to be strong, I believe that is more an inflection point rather than a turnaround.
All right, Brian, always appreciate it. Brian Chu from Australian Gold Fund.
Thank you for watching my interview with AusBiz. To learn more about our work, visit the Australian Gold Fund website. Also, check out Gold Hub Australia for live precious metals, price quotes, and insights. You can also sign up for our regular updates. And don't forget to visit the AusBiz website. All our links are in the description. Please leave your comments and thoughts on where gold, silver, and the US dollar are heading below. Thank you very much. God bless.